being a teacher is really about person-to-person interaction, maybe with people who are different than you. Somebody at La Crosse realized that and said, this is what students need. And I'll tell you, I don't feel like that many universities say that to their students. I'm somewhere between shocked and amazed and impressed the fact that you guys are here.
In all the years I've been here in Milwaukee, getting involved in different community things, it didn't matter what you're trying to deal with, drugs, violence, unemployment, low income. Most of the problems that we deal with as a community come back to the failure of education in the city.
UW-La Crosse has 800 students in our teacher education program. We are the flagship teacher education program in the state of Wisconsin. We have a responsibility to working to address some of the concerns in the city of Milwaukee on all levels, and one of the major concerns is quality teachers within all of our schools.
The partnership with UW-La Crosse is incredibly important because it is going to be a pipeline of highly qualified teachers that are going to be ready to serve our inner city schools in Milwaukee. And there really is no greater need in the city right now than the teachers.
No matter where you teach, though, you have to be able to teach in a way that's responsive to the students and the cultures and the racial realities that they bring into school. And oftentimes, if teachers don't get the opportunity to do that, like experientially, or we can talk about it all day long, but until you get in there and actually look at what's happening and feel that difference, it's almost impossible to truly kind of internalize, how do I teach in response to that? This experience gives our students the opportunity to do that.
Having a teacher candidate in my room has been awesome. Working with urban children is difficult if you have no experience with them. So having somebody who wants to be in my room, not because they're forced to, but because they want to, has been just so enjoyable.
With one student, she's been struggling the last couple days because the school year is kind of ending, and just knowing her home life is inconsistent and she struggles with that. And then with the UW student coming in, she's made a huge connection with the student. Like every single day they're back in the back table working one-on-one on the homework or eating lunch, or even after school they're talking. So it's just really awesome to see that.
It is so incredibly important to have teachers that are there for their students in a way, in an emotional, compassionate, empathetic way. Students from UW-La Crosse join us in this home experience, this home visit, to get a greater understanding of truly some of the challenges and maybe the hidden challenges to the students that they're potentially going to work with.
I mean, it's one thing to hear about it, but it's one thing to see it in their situations, and it shows me how hard it is to get out of that situation as well, how to just get on top. And it inspired me more because I think one way to help that whole cycle, that continuous circle, is education. It is by far the most rewarding thing my entire life I've ever experienced. And these kids here at St. Marcus have touched me in ways I've never experienced before, and will always have my heart because it'll influence my teaching career in the future.
If I were to go back to when I was getting my teacher training, and I knew this was an option and I knew what benefits I would get from it, I would sign up for it in a heartbeat. I wish when I was in college dorms looked like this one did. It's an apartment style dorm, so that was really nice to have this space. And space for students to be able to hang out together in their room. Students come straight from their school day and they go straight into class. So we just kind of take over the lounge area. As a group, we can come up with some ideas for how can we think about literacy outside of the four walls of the classroom, but expand it into experiences that we can then create for our students when we have our own classroom.
There's nothing like that hands-on experience with those students in urban education. There's nothing like it. You can't read out of a book and figure out how you're going to work with these students, what their lives are like. A lot of people assume that just because one kid lives in poverty in the urban education setting doesn't mean that they all do, and I think that happens a lot, is that people get generalized. So it helps you put a face to the things that you're hearing about in classes.
Just think of the number of children that each one of these individual students will have an impact on for years if they are able to build a career as a successful teacher. Whether the students end up teaching in an urban setting or not, I think after participating in this program, they will be a better teacher no matter where they are.